Welcome to the Journal of Biophilic Design podcast. Many thanks for joining us on the Journal of Biophilic Design today. First of all, just a reminder that we have our printed and ebook versions of the Journal of Biophilic Design, which are now published, and you can buy directly on our website, journalofbiophilicdesign.com, or on Amazon. And I've actually got a hard copy here, so people are watching this on YouTube, you can see it. It's lovely. If you can hear that, it's a lovely hard copy. There's over 130 pages of full colour information about plants and the environment and acoustics and the science behind biophilic design, biophilic cities and well-being, and lots of other things as well. The next edition is focused on home, and we are featuring a project in there by a fantastic biophilic design interior designer, Nuria Muñoz, who we are thrilled to have with us today. First of all, Nuria, many thanks for joining us today.
Many thanks, Ness, for letting me be here. It's really a great honor to be here, surrounded by all the listeners and viewers and enthusiasts of biophilic design and advocates. And yeah, so it's really, I'm really thrilled to be here.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. People go to our website, because I'm going to put her link to her site on the blurb that goes with the podcast. She's a wellbeing interior designer, consultant, speaker, and educator. She's based in Valencia in Spain, but she works all over the world. She founded Habitarmonia,
Right.
A consulting, advocating, and design studio that offers both B2B and B2C services. She's won loads of awards, which we're going to talk about shortly, and is passionate about our beautiful planet, the design interiors that respect our world and bring harmony and happiness to the families who live in them. Nuria, many thanks. And can you start by telling us maybe a little bit about yourself, because you've come to design in the design world, but you've kind of taken like a sidestep. So can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's a great question, because many people don't know why this happened. So yeah, let's start from the beginning. I grew up in a little town in the Basque Country in the north of Spain, surrounded by mountains. Nature has been always surrounded by me. I went to school in the mountains, so wow. I know now the benefits that this school had on me. So it's really great. And my parents took the opportunity to put me there. And by the age of 18, I wanted to be an interior designer. But my father was an interior designer by himself. So he said, no, you go to do something more serious, Nuria. You don't go to do interior design. You can do something else. So yeah, this was not my passion, but I went to do business management, economics, and marketing in Bilbao. This is a city in the north of Spain. So I did that. I was not very happy about it, but okay, I finished it. By the end of the studies, I met my husband. He's a Dutch guy living in Belgium, and this is love. And I went with him to live in Belgium. Once I was living in Belgium, I started, first of all, in many multinationals. I only could speak English and Spanish, so the possibilities were not so big in Belgium for me. And I decided to study the languages there. This could be easier for me to get another opportunities. So when I was studying already Dutch and French, I said, now it's my time. I was pregnant with my first daughter. I have three big kids right now. My first daughter, and I took a break of almost 3 years. Through this break, I went to school and I studied interior architecture. So I took that subject that it was my passion when I was a kid. I did it in Belgium, and through that passion, it was a bit of a strange process. I was on maternity leave, and for 3 years almost, and quite a long. But okay, I was studying. And we got the opportunity, my husband and I, to take over the business of my parents-in-law, which they were agents in fashion. So a fashion agency selling different brands. And okay, it sounded great. Something with fashion design. I thought, okay, this could work. And that's what we started doing. So yeah, selling different brands and yeah, making it bigger. We went all the way to creating 8 different shops and so retail. And in the meantime, I was not only doing this job, and it was quite a stressy job. I also I was educating people on interior design. I was helping retailers on interior design because this was already my passion. And I actually did some of the showroom we had. I did it myself and some other shops, retail concepts. So it was in me. I knew this was something in me. But let's say there was a problem something came through my path, and this was a course which is called Sustainability in Fashion. So what happened with this? My eyes went wide open. I started to learn about what was climate change, what were we doing with these activities, that the fashion industry is one of the most polluting industries. So I just went into this, like very, very negative spiral. Like, what am I doing? Is this the job I want to do for my life? And this was the cause of all the rest. So by learning about sustainability in fashion, I heard about biophilic design. And I just heard about it. And I started learning about it, reading about it. And by 2018, I had a burnout. So many things going on, retail, very demanding prices. It's all about prices, money. And I had a lot of people working for us, and it was quite a very demanding job. So I had a burnout, and this was my turning point. I went to a coach to help me to go through this process. And she was very straightforward, like, okay, Nuria, what's your dream? What do you want to do in your life? At the beginning, I was like, I have nothing. What am I going to do? But after a few talks with her, I said, I really know what I do, but I don't think this is something for me. She said, okay, coaches, they can just help you get all the best of you. Very, very thankful to her. And so what came out was that I wanted to go back to Spain with my family, and I want to start a company on biophilic design. What, I didn't have really a structure, but that was the aim, to do something good for the planet. It was enough of destroying so many things in the planet. I wanted to do something good for the future of my kids and for the future of nature as well, because we are nature. So that's when I started thinking about going back to Spain. This was the beginning of 2019. And something happened in 2019. There was this wind trade global thing. And I went, I was invited to go there. This is a networking event. And I just pitched about it. I had nothing, but I just pitched it because I knew that I had to spread the word somehow. And that would give me a bit of a hurry, like, okay, you have to start. If you just say it, you will have to do it. You put it in the universe, you will have to do it. So that's what happened. I went into the podium. I pitched my project. I said, next year I will be here and I will show you my company. And that's what happened. That's in 2022, because of COVID, I won an award on wind trade about the company. So this was like, wow. And that's what we did. We moved to Spain, and I started my own company. And this happened when COVID started. So it was a big challenge again. Gosh. And what I did was just doing it online. So I did a lot of consultations and a lot of co-creations on projects, residential mainly, online. And this helped me to get my own programs and my own way of working. So that's a little bit my background.
Well, I just people look to your website, they'll see that you can tell that you design from your heart, and that you're designing for the well-being of the people, but you can tell that you have such a respect for nature and the planet. So it's really interesting, because I didn't know that. I didn't know that full story of your journey, but the key thing was like to do the right thing for the planet. And I love that, how it's all just come full circle. So I do want to ask you now about biophilic design. on its own. So
Yes.
why do you think it's important that we create interiors that that incorporate biophilic design?
That's a great question. Yes, it's not just important, it's necessary. It's really necessary. It's not about, it's not anymore about making beautiful things. Beautiful things are great things, but it's about how are we going to be in the future. We have seen what we're doing with the planet, what's going on with climate change. And I think that by knowing and by implementing biophilic design in residential in homes, we start to reconnect again with nature. That's something that we don't have it anymore. There is no connection. We forgot about connection. We are living in spaces which are gray, full of yeah, just gray. This is the way I see it, gray spaces. And implementing biophilic design, we know that by doing that, we start to care about plants, about nature, about soil, about air, about all the elements, and that's it. For me, it's just that the reconnection. For me, it's the key word. The way to yeah. That's why I think it's important. No, it's necessary that we do it. It's necessary for the future of the planet. Yeah, that's it.
That's lovely. It's essential. You're right. Absolutely. That's just a pretty perfect answer. I mean, what do you think are the main benefits of biophilic design for families? Obviously, because we're talking about home in this one. I mean, there's lots of things we could talk about on with you. I mean, because we know each other, listeners, we've known each other for a while, so we could talk about lots of things. But actually, because this issue is about home, the next issue of the journal Biophilic Design, issue 2, is home. Can you give us an example maybe of somewhere where you've installed or designed somewhere that's been a sort of a biophilic design in a home, and how it, and what the positive impact has been on that family?
Okay, I can talk about one of the projects which has been it's award, kind of awarded, and it's a biophilic home. I call it like that. The people living there had a lot of stress, and yeah, this was the key point. So what are the benefits? Yeah, the benefits of biophilic design, as we all know, we have benefits on health, on the well-being, on the happiness of the people by implementing it through elements or the patterns or whatever the technique you want to use. So what's very important in residential is to start to get to know the people who are asking you this project. So it's not only making a little survey, but it's getting under the skin and being a psychologist, kind of like really understanding, are they introverts, are they extroverts, are there these are the aha moments in a process of biophilic design survey, as I call it. People start talking about, my kid has I don't know, ADHD, or my kid is having problems with migraines. So these are health issues which are coming up, and that's where we can call us like space doctors or house doctors, or I know you have something called like that, don't you?
Yes, space doctors, yeah.
It's a great word. It summarizes everything. We heal people by introducing these techniques, biophilic design and wellbeing interior design. So, and you are asking me for an example. There was this house in nature, a beautiful house, but they wanted to renovate it. It didn't look nice. It was made out of wood, but the floor, for example, was tiles, were really gray, very ugly tiles, and it was not warm. It was really not welcoming. So by surveying these people, the first of all, which came out was stress they had. They had very stressful jobs. And also one of the kids had some problems of ADHD and dyslexia and all these type of things. So the aim was, first of all, make the people feel less stressed. And then, the matter of the kid. So create a room for the kid which would be less or more welcoming for him. So the kid, what I did was actually use the right colors, like very clear greens, and make a lot of storage, because he had toys everywhere. And that's it. This clutter, you know what clutter makes to us. So yeah, first of all was taking care of clutter, creating the storage spaces, and then creating the right biophilic mood. So by the colors, by putting the plants, I introduced a soundscape, so he could, when he was studying, he was using certain sounds, and all these little suggestions were like astonishing for them, especially for the kid. He could concentrate better in his room. Of course, not to tell you the natural connection with nature, so they had to have their connections with the outside. So what actually I did is taking into account all these patterns and all these the patterns of biophilic design, when one by one with them, and we try to implement most of them. But this is, I always say, this is not biophilic interior design. It's not just checking all the patterns. It's much more than that. It's getting the psychologies, understanding them. So yeah, I think I went too far to your question.
Yeah. No, it's perfect. It's actually, because that's it. You know, the whole thing with biophilic design is it should be a holistic approach to design. It should be to building, to whatever it is, whatever intervention that we do to create a better environment, whether that's in a city. We should know about what the user, and I'm going to say this because people are, you know, check listing things, but you know, who's going to use that? What's the personality type, like you just mentioned? You know, are they extroverts? Are they introverts? Do they need, you know, even we're all on that spectrum sometimes. We're all on, like, you know, sometimes we want to be with everybody, and then other times we just want quiet time. So being able to zone and all these things that we kind of like you said, you know, you kind of have, you know, these patterns of biophilic design, you know, the zoning, the soundscape, the thing. But actually, if you're designing intuitively, you would design like this because this is how we are. So I think it's lovely. I think the designs that you do and the colored ways and everything is beautiful. What do you think are the main challenges when we're trying to implement some aspects of biophilic design? You know, are some aspects more challenging than others, do you think?
I'd say it's about mindset. Challenges are big, especially with this biophilic design, to implement biophilic design. I see mindset challenges, like some of the customers have this challenge, like thinking about, that's not for us. That's a greenwashing. It's about putting some plants in the thing. I can do that myself. Or this is very expensive. How much is going to cost me? Or no, there is mindset in I see mainly in residential. People think that this is or either greenwashing, or either something which has been invented to earn more money, or either something that it's not for them, or either something which is just about plants. And it's like a movement. It's like like we have different styles in the interior design. This is another style. But no, this is nothing to do with the style. We can use all type of styles and introduce biophilic design on it. So the challenges is to do that, to make people aware, make them aware of that. What are the benefits of biophilic design? That it's about our health, it's about health of the planet, and that's mainly the challenges. So it's not about a concrete room or concrete space. I think it's about the way we communicate, and that's our challenge as interior designers, to make people understand that it's not just about something nice, but it's something that's going to help you with your health and your well-being and your happiness. And so that's main challenge. I think that's mainly that. Something I wanted to talk about. It's I went to a fair here in Spain. So I went to a fair of furniture a few weeks ago with my students. I have constantly students coming from the Netherlands mainly, and they do their last year to do some studies of biophilic design, which I love to teach them. And we did a survey. We said, okay, there are 500 exhibitors there. We're going to do a survey. Let's see how many of them ever heard about biophilic design. I'm not saying do they know about, heard about it, but 500 people, only 2 people from 500 exhibitors, only 2 exhibitors knew about it, which was, wow, there is so much to do there, so much work to do there. So when you tell me what challenges, there were big challenges here.
Yeah, exactly. Awareness. There's awareness and education, and and also it's helping them experience it as well, isn't it? How we get to reach these people and actually have them experience a biophysically enhanced environment, and then realize, oh, hang on a minute, this is a key. This could be a turning point for their business, for their net zero ambitions, and everything else, and our well-being and mental health, and and also the bottom line as well, because obviously it saves money on staff turnover and all this thing, and productivity and all those things. Those good things that we.
It's all interconnected, connected. As you said, it's holistic. It has to do also with hunger in Africa, and it's really big. It's not just interior design or architectural. It's connection. When we are part, when we are understanding what we are nature, that it's not out there, but we are ourselves nature, and we can make something there. Like, you look outside and you see the flowers and the bees are they're in this little world of themselves, and they're helping the flowers, and they're helping the ecosystem grow and function. We are also that. So that's
we should be, like you say, we should be a positive cog, rather than sort of like sucking nature dry and sucking our environments dry, and sort of clearing spaces and trees to stick up a concrete building. We should actually be thinking, well, why can't we be a bee? Why can't we sort of also have a more of a sensitive way of living in our landscape, and that's the start, obviously, from an architectural point of view, but then the interiors need to complement our minds and our beings, and our our biology needs to connect to nature, and it needs to have an environment that is that sustains everything, on all aspects. I do want to talk to you about this beautiful interior design project that you've done in Belgium, and you've finalist in the Golden Trezzini Awards in 2022 for Best Implemented Private House Interior Design Project. It's really wonderful, and it's featured in the second edition of the Journal of Biophilic Design, which people can get if they just got to this point in the podcast. You can get it on our website, journalofbiophilicdesign.com. You can also get it on Amazon. There's a hardback version on Amazon as well, and there's an ebook version too. So, but this is a bit of a digression. But can you, obviously that's good, so they'll be able to look at it and look at the pictures there. But could you tell us about the project, Nuria? Can you tell us, what was the house like before you took on the design, and what you did with the owners?
Okay, I'll walk you through a little bit of the process and the design. So it was a great house from the beginning. In the looks, like from the outside, it's placed in the middle of nature with a little forest surrounded, and it's a passive house. Passive house, completely. Everything is it's good. It's good in the books, but when you got in, it didn't give you this great sensation, even if it was made out of wood inside. Because first of all, the colors they used were awful. There was not how it was in the beginning. There was didn't feel good. Then the flow of the house was not right. They had to go surrounding all the house to go to the bedrooms. So we did some changes in the staircases. We opened up one room. We added a window for the connection to the outside. I also suggested the passive houses should be closed. You have these hermetic windows, three triple windows, like really, really high standard. But when you put it all closed, you don't have that connection anymore to nature, and you're not getting this great air. You are surrounded by trees, so you should also get these benefits from them. So I suggested them to open them, to be aware of that, of it's about co-creation. I always co-create with them. So I explain them about biophilic design. What are the benefits? Why should we put on wooden floor and make everything like in wood? Because it was great to have wood on the walls, but when you walked was really it sounded like hollow when not good exactly. And so we start with this oak wood. We did the flow, and another important thing was, okay, I did this survey, which is you're extrovert, you're introvert, you like people in, you like people, they enjoyed, and the couple enjoyed people coming in our homes and having parties. And so the kitchen was also not ready for that. So I added an extra, like a bar in wood, where people could sit and have a glass of wine or whatever, and just sit around the kitchen. So very simple things, but all with wood. And then we also talked about which furniture do you already have? Can we recuperate some of the furniture? It's not only about buying the new stuff and that's something I love doing with my customers, just taking profit of what they have, because it's nice to we don't need to buy everything new. So we did take some of the old, there was a very nice cupboard which was coming from a bakery, from the husband, whatever. So we put it in the middle of the dining room. It was very like an eye catcher there. So those were the main things. Of course, we use natural products, we use natural painting, sustainable products as much as we could. Not all the time. That's quite challenging sometimes. We can use sustainable materials, but as far as we could, we did that. And what nice about it is the comments of them. They were saying, like, once everything was done, we could feel so great in that house. We were really relaxed because they were having lots of stress. And also all their friends, when they came in, they were all saying, like, oh, this is such a peaceful space and we feel so good and we love coming back and back and back. So just by introducing little elements in the at the entrance and playing with colors and with materials, so all that, and teaching them about biophilic design, what was so important for them to do when people are coming, and to just put scent of this when people are coming, or for your kid, you use this scent to be a bit more calm, or use lavender in your bedroom. All these little tips made them feel good. So yeah, you can do something good with big money, but also with little money in biophilic design. And this was a middle range. It was a big house, so it was a bit costly, but it was not a high range product. And at the end, this is good because you can also have great benefits from that with not so much money. So that's a good thing about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the fact that you've sort of incorporated their old furniture as well, where you could, and and sort of made it for eye-catching, made it a main feature and stuff. So kind of brought history in and family elements, and so a really nice, again, holistic approach. So it's lovely. I bet they really loved it, didn't they? I bet when it was all done, I bet
Yes.
kind of your feedback must be like, oh, it's fantastic, we love it here, and
They were really, really happy about it. It's great, But the good thing about it is that they also learn about biophilic design. So they do get that connection with nature. They learn that, and that's double win for me. It's not just that it looks nice and it feels good, but they also are advocates of biophilic design now. So great.
That's nice. I was thinking as well, it must make them a happier family. Like you said, you put a bar in there, so you're kind of creating this space where they can all sit and talk and chat, and like you always mention this sort of well-being. It's like a big mantra for you, isn't it? This sort of the well-being and the health. So like there's also the health of a family, isn't it? That intercommunication. Hence you're looking at their personalities and stuff.
That's it. It's something which I take a lot into account, is creating connectivity with people. That's very important. That for our well-being, it's so important to be connected to people. This makes us happy. So how do we create a home where we can get people inside or get connected with people? Do I have to put a bench outside to invite people to sit next to so all these little things made the house just perfect for them. As I say, it's a co-creation. So I also learn a lot from them, and I have to do the research. Okay, they have these problems, and I have to go and do some search on that. So lovely. It's always great. it's nice to do residential.
It's fantastic. It's lovely. And we're sort of talking of that, you know, you help people understand about their homes and things. I mean, you've just launched a book, haven't you? Can you tell us about that and where people can get hold of it as well?
Okay, thank you for asking that one. Yes, I created, it's called the Complete Wellbeing Interior Design Guide. It's a step-by-step guide, let's say. And this is my working process, actually. I wanted to, as I told you, I want to make big impact. People know about biophilic design, well-being design. And I thought if I just publish that job I do and the knowledge I have, and I guide people step by step in an easy way through what I do, my process, my program, more people will be advocates by biophilic design, or will understand it, or at least even if they implement some of the elements that I put there, really fine. So yeah, it's my way of working. It's my program. I use biophilic design, of course, all what neuroscience is telling us. So neurodesign, the well standards are there as well, so that they are aware of air and all these elements that we're talking about. So it's very easy to use guide. You go through 22 elements. They're interconnected, and in each chapter you have a working sheet, so you can also go and move forward. So the first part of it, it's about the standards or the basics of interior design. So I teach people how to just do a scaled room, so how to do it in an easy way. Wow. Or how to do your when we're talking about personalities, okay, which is your personality? If you're A or B or C, you should do more this or that or that. Or even ask them, I asked them to do how's it called? A daily blog, let's say, a daily
Journal? Like
a daily journal. Yeah, like daily journal. What do you do in the morning? Where do you sit? Where do you have your cup of coffee? Where do you eat? Where would you like to do some yoga? You still don't do yoga, but would you like to? Where would you like to do it? So that they keep a track on their daily lives during a week, and add things that they would like to do during the day. So this way we are co-creating something for a better future for them. So if I create a space where maybe they like doing some yoga and they still don't have that space, if we create that, I will push them somehow to do yoga. Or for example, for kids, some parents tell me, yeah, but my kids, they don't read too much. Okay, let's create like a little bookcase next to their room that maybe they're attracted to read a little bit more. So that's it. That's this ebook, but it's really a step-by-step ebook. Yeah, can call it a book. It's right now in my website, and you get through it by downloading a free checklist. So there is a checklist with all the elements, and if you want to learn more, then you get this ebook. You get a chance to buy this ebook. So that's how it's working.
Okay, that's lovely. And so it's on your website. Can you tell us your website? So if someone's out there running around, they can maybe Google it while they're talking.
Okay, it's www.habitarmonia, and this is HABITARMONIA and .com, sorry. And this is the name of Habitarmonia comes from habitat and harmony. So I made it Habitarmonia. So for those, yeah, just Google around. Beautiful. And that's what it's this ebook about. It's to teach people and to motivate people to do it in the right way, more consciously, by reconnecting with nature, by taking care of the planet and themselves and their families, of course.
That's lovely. Well, that's really nice. Well, I'm going to have a look and download it and see if I can upgrade the elements of this house that I need to do. So lovely. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, Nuria, before I come to the last question?
Yes, there is something I'm working right now on. It's there are 2 projects I'm working on, and these have nothing to do with residential. These working spaces, and there are working spaces in the fashion world. as you already heard about it, I am coming from the fashion world. And so I've been helping many retailers on creating shops and showrooms. And I see now we see the necessity of implementing it in the working spaces. And as I have this background on the fashion industry, I have created these two, I'm about to finish these two projects, Biophilic Design projects on working spaces. And I will be putting them also in the website to show which were the challenges, how we did it, the renders already are there, and then what are the features of biophilic design in these projects for people to understand better what is biophilic design. So it will be also a bit of educating also people about it.
That's fantastic. Well, great. Well, good luck on that new journey. So then comes the final question that I ask everybody at the end of these podcasts, and I'm really intrigued to hear what you're going to say. So if you could paint the world with a magic brush of biophilia, what would it look like?
I love this question, Ness. Every time I hear it, I love it. It's a great question, and I tell you the truth, it's the one that I had more difficulties with. But for me, if I could just think about a biophilia world, would be people talking the same language, people understanding this language of biophilia. This is it. If people would know what we're talking about, if they would just get connected to nature, if they would go more to nature, we wouldn't be here talking about what is important. They would feel it themselves. As we said, if you feel it yourself, you know what it is. I've been through kind of a depression and burnout before a few years ago, and this was my healing. I worked every day 3 hours in nature, so this helped me to feel much easier than just having pills and all this stuff. So for me, it's a world where this is a common language. And yes, it will look green, full of trees. We have beautiful cities, but we understand what we're doing in all levels. And that's for me how it would look like. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Journal of Biophilic Design podcast.